I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to share with you how to make the ultimate overnight cinnamon rolls. Now, cinnamon rolls is a recipe here in Laura in the Kitchen that I uploaded almost 10 years ago, and it's still everyone's favorite. I don't think there's really much that you can do to improve on it. The only thing that I've done differently here is I made the batch just a little bit bigger. So for those holidays, for those times where you have a lot of people over overnight and you want to wake up to the smell of fresh cinnamon rolls, but you don't want to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get them going, you turn to this video. I will walk you through step by step, and I hope that you love them. Like I said, they taste just like the old classic. You just can't improve them. They're that good. They're in my book. They're just phenomenal. Let me run you through what you'll need. It's not very much. You just need flour, sugar, and salt, melted butter, egg, vanilla. I have a mixture here of milk and water that I warmed up, and then I have a little bit of a mixture here of sugar and active dry yeast, which we are going to sprinkle onto the warm milk mixture. And we're just going to set this aside to proof and foam and do all kinds of wonderful things. In the meantime, literally all I'm going to do is mix together the dry ingredients, put it in the thing here with the dough hook while that foams, and that's pretty much it. Very simple, the old classic, just sort of like updated because the quality's better. That's pretty much it. It made it easier, if you will. That looks fantastic. That is what you're looking for. That's when you know good stuff is gonna happen. So go ahead, take this mixture, dump it in, and then you're gonna add your egg, your melted butter. Make sure the butter cools so it's not super hot, and a splash of vanilla. And we're just gonna knead this on medium speed for a few minutes or until a dough forms. I'll show you what it looks like when it's there. That looks perfect. The dough should be a little tacky, but not wet, you know? Get this out of here. Just take this and just sort of knead it for a minute, not even a second really, a couple seconds. Now, at this point, you're wondering, well, can I just put this, can I cut, because I'm going to cover this, I'm going to stick it somewhere warm to rise until about doubled in size. And I know what you're thinking. Can I just stick this in the fridge overnight and it rises and then I put them in, you know, I shape them and bake them in the morning? It doesn't rise enough if you do it that way. The chill from the fridge just does not give it the rise that it needs. So you have to do this first rise here at room temperature, somewhere warm. I put it in my microwave. Don't turn the microwave on until it's doubled in size. So let's do that, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. She's already a thing of beauty, isn't she? Risen perfectly. I'm telling you. I get a lot of messages from you guys telling me that my favorite recipe or the first thing that you've ever made for me have been cinnamon rolls, and it's still your favorite recipe. Listen, it just doesn't fail. It just does not fail. Okay. Deflate this baby. I'm just going to flour my surface lightly. I don't want anything to stick, but I also don't want it to be gummy underneath. So we're going to be like that. Okay. Just deflate this. I like to deflate it in the bowl, and then it makes it really easy to roll out, you know? Get it out of there. She's gorgeous. Okay, let's talk topping, more filling, not topping. Obviously, you need butter. Then you need sugar. I use brown sugar. And you need cinnamon. And that's all. Easy peasy. You know what I'm saying? Now, you're going to make a lot of cinnamon rolls. This makes a good 20 cinnamon rolls. You can even make more, depending on how thick you like them. I think 20 is about right. I have a big pan here. This is a 15.5 by 11.5 by 2.5 in depth. So it's just going to hold these really nicely. Just take your time. Look at this dough. I mean, it just does not fail. Fun fact, when we were doing the cookbook shoot for the Laura in the Kitchen cookbook, we had recipe testers and culinary teams helping with the food to make it beautiful. And obviously they were cooking all the recipes from the book. And the culinary team said that my pizza dough and my cinnamon rolls dough was the best dough they ever worked with. Proud of that one. I love me my carbs, you know. Love them. So, nice big rectangle. Now you're gonna take your butter and you're just gonna brush all around. When it's soft, it works better, but if you melt the butter, it's fine. It's just sometimes if you're using fully melted butter, it can tend to like run off from the dough. So just be careful. And I also made sure to butter my pan as well. You want it nice and buttery. Take your sugar cinnamon mixture. Now listen, you don't want to do just cinnamon. You can do pumpkin pie spice here. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it? You can add a little nutmeg, a little clove action. Sometimes the brown sugar can have little hard pieces. Just get it one thin layer. Mix that cinnamon in there real good. And then what you do, you're going to tightly roll into a giant cigar. Okay? Try to make it tight, but don't tear anything. And it gets easier once you get about a quarter of the way up. Then at the end, I find it easiest to pull the last bit over and just sort of stretch it out to seal. But you know, whatever is easier for you. Like that. And I'm gonna cut these with dental floss, unwaxed. You don't want it to be tasting like mint up in here, okay? But I do score them first because otherwise I don't know what I'm doing. Otherwise, some of this big, some of that big. You know, I do it by eye. And then you take dental floss, you slide it underneath, and you do one of these, right? And they're perfect every single time. You don't have to do this, but you know, I'm going to show you another really cool trick that makes these look like bakery style. So some will be a little bit bigger than others because as you can see, I can't tell what I'm doing, but it'll be fine. This is literally the only casualty because I don't waste anything, okay? Here's a cool trick. You take your roll, right? And you take your finger, you push from the bottom, just a tiny bit like that. And when these bake and they rise, they just give them a real gorgeous bakery-like look to them, which I love. Not necessary, but you know. Just gonna lay them all in here. You know, when they rise and they bake and they all touch, and it's just gonna create magic, absolute magic. Good morning. As you can see, we are in our real kitchen and it's really a weekend morning, and I wanted to show you what the cinnamon rolls look like remember we let them rest for like 20 minutes on the counter, then we we put them in the fridge overnight, and this is what they look like the next morning. I took them out of the fridge about 15 minutes ago, but they do need to rise still. So you can see they have started rising, but they need to go a little bit longer. So I'm just gonna place them somewhere warm for like 45 minutes until they've doubled. This is what I look like fresh in the morning. What's that saying? Yes, I woke up like this. I'm just gonna go ahead and put these somewhere warm, about 45 minutes until they rise, and then I'll get myself ready and we'll get these baking. All right, these look gorgeous. They need to go into an oven at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes. I like to rotate the pan halfway through for even baking. You can see one of us is fully ready, one of us is half ready. So we're gonna continue to get ourselves going for the day while these bake, and then it's on for the weekend. cinnamon rolls were in the oven about 20 minutes, and look how beautiful they look. They are still quite warm. I just took them out a few minutes ago. That's when I like to ice them, because I feel like it just, like that hot cream cheese glaze just sort of like pours all the way in there. That's how I like it anyway, but you can let it cool. I will link, of course, in the recipe on the website. I will have a spot under there for the recipe for the cream cheese glaze, which is the same that I made in my old cinnamon roll video.
There you
Good job. And we're just literally going to glaze each one, aren't we, baby?
go. I'm not doing.
Go ahead. Why don't you do that one? That looks so good, doesn't it? And they smell phenomenal. You can, of course, especially if you're doing this for company, you can use a prettier pan if you want to, but you know me, this is family style. This is my home cooking. So for me, when a pan is worn, it's got memories and there's history to it. So I don't buy pretty pans for anything really, because I feel like if it works, just keep with it. And this pan has a lot of memories. Lots of roasts have gone in here. Lots of big batches of cinnamon rolls have gone in here. Lots of pans of baked ziti have gone in here. All good stuff. I think that's mommy's right there. I think that's for mommy to try. It is still gonna be really hot, because like I said, I literally just took this out of the oven a few minutes ago, but if you could just smell what it smells like in here, you'd understand why I cannot wait another second. Let me flip this guy out of here. The first one's always an interesting one. You know, it's cook's treat. You've always got to have one of those. I mean, look at that.
Mommy, don't need it hot.
Don't eat it, it's hot? Okay, I'll try not to. Look at that. I mean, it is just, is it not phenomenal? It is so soft and beautiful and just fantastic. Just gonna cut it into it. Like I said, it's still hot. How many times can one say that, right? But look at that.
Get some more rice.
You know me, the center is heavenly, okay?
I want to put it.
Go to laurainthekitchen.com. You know I gotta get the heart. Go to laurainthekitchen.com. Get the recipe. If you've got a big gathering, you have, or just a big family, the best. Bye. It's very good.
Over